right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Paulie. Good morning, Blue Quant. Okay. Good morning to you all. Let's see. Good morning. NASDAQ and S&P gain happened overnight. Bad case of FOMO. Ooh. I can't wait to talk about that, Quant, because I have a feeling that a lot of people are probably feeling about the same, right? But it's not about how big the move is. It's about what does the move tell you? What is the move actually doing? John, RD, good morning to you. How did yesterday close on the NASDAQ? How did yesterday close on the US 30? How long have we been going up? What setups do I have to trade? What setups could I be looking for? Nikolai, good morning. Letting some people flow in here and then we'll get going. As y'all are coming in, do not be a background lurker. Say hello. Nelly, good morning. Good night says good morning. Good morning to you. Good night. Biker Papa, good morning to you. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're on the world. I hope you're doing well. I can't find my cursor. There it is. Starting out strong. This is not financial advice, just a reminder. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any expression, imply, warranty of any kind, including words of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. Please feel free, pause stream, read this. Cool. Okay, so Quant saying something about the NASDAQ and about how on a lot of these indexes, the move has already started. So let's talk about it a little bit. What does it mean? What could it mean? What is it telling us? What story is this trying to show us? Okay, so we've been going up for a while. We've been going up for at least 3 weeks or in excess of 3 weeks. How do I know that? I know that because I can look at weekly separators and I can see where the market has been closing. So we had a previous week's high back over here. This was the break of the high, the higher high. Likely, let's see, a first green week, I think. Something like that. Yep, first green week, higher high. And then we start to march back up, breakout week 1. And then we get, did they retest? Nope. So there was a breakout week 1. And then we've gone a bit higher. We got breakout week 2. We're just going to keep on following this along. So do we have at least 3 weeks going up? Yes. So we got breakout week 3. Let's see. We had a high and a low put in place on this week. No reset. They did not trigger previous week's levels on the other side of the range. They've just continued to go higher. All right. So now we've got breakout week 3 or 4. I can't even remember at this point. Breakout week 5. And then now we are into breakout week 6. So why do I explain that? Why do I say all that? Because whenever I have that many weeks in breakout in one direction, and then we get 3 sessions of breakout like this, and we're at the high of the current week, we are all the way up here. I will look at this for a certain type of setup, and that tells me what to look for. It's not about, oh my gosh, I missed this move. It's not about, any of that stuff. It's just about what is the market showing me and what should I be looking for based off of that information. All right. When the light turns green, I start to drive my car. When the market has been going in one direction for a certain amount of weeks and we have 3 sessions of breakout, I look for a certain setup. All right. So we're making higher highs and higher lows on the day. It is blown off into the peak formation swing point. We've got a higher high here. And then it broke down and made a lower low. And it made this lower low at coming into the 7 o'clock time. Okay. Broke down, made this lower low. 1 bar back up does not count as a swing. These are all internal to this bar's swing. One bar back up, one bar back up. Okay, this bar has actually broken out, and we've got 2 bars closing higher. So this is my lower low here. All right, and then we've pulled back a bit of a strong burst pause, or excuse me, 1, 2, maybe a pause, and then 3 to the high, ending in 1, 2, maybe 3. And then we've got this breakdown. So we've got people potentially caught in the pullback. With this particular setup, I am looking for something that has broken out, has 3 sessions, and is one of those playbook variations, either 3 peaks or a peak traded back into. So this would be like that variant here. And then we have the base. So that's basically a higher low. We've got space for the market to fall through. The market has not retested the previous day's high. So this gives us a place to target if it does end up selling off the way that I would hope. Now, this being a setup, it's setting up in the way that I need it to be. This is going to go high up on my list for things to watch. We've got 8 minutes to the open. This is looking good. This is what I want to be watching. All right, so quant, I hope this helps a little bit as far as like maybe this will keep you a bit more patient because now maybe you have something to look for instead of just chasing the move or hoping that you can, catch whatever. Okay, US 30 from yesterday. 15-minute chart. Looking at previous notes, we had a first red day on Monday. We had breakout day 1 on Tuesday. We project that level across. Okay, and then yesterday we had breakout day 2. They closed this in breakout going down. And it looks like they've made attempts to go back up before selling off and possibly or potentially more than likely breaking down. Okay, on the day, making higher highs. Yep. And then we're going to call this a lower low. In fact, I'm going to remove this. And I'm just going to input a little something like this. There we go. And coming off of this lower close here, this break, we've got 1 bar back up, 2 bars back up minimum. Maybe not. No, this is good. This is fine. All right, and this would be a pump for a dump. This would be a trend trade. Basically, they've triggered the low. They've pumped it back up off the low. If it starts to break down and roll over, looking for the trend opportunity back down to and through the low of the week. If it shows up, all right. Something I want to pay attention to over here on the left. And something that I always pay attention to when I notice it, when I see it. We have a breakout here. We have a breakout of the low of the day and also the previous day's low. And then how did this move end up presenting itself or ending? How did it end? That's really important to me. 1, 2, 3. Trap at the low. So now we have people potentially trapped below P2. Okay, down here in this little box. So it'd be nice to start letting these people out if I want to take a short. Some people over here, if they're holding on to this for whatever reason, start allowing them to make money, start pushing aggressively back down. All right, we're going to go to gold. We've got 5 minutes to the open, so I need to maybe move a little bit faster here. Okay, we had a breakout day 1. No, it was not day 1. Excuse me. First red day last Wednesday, and then Thursday was breakout day 1. Friday was breakout day 2. Monday, breakout day 3. Then we get an inside day or an inside bar on Tuesday. Went back to the high, pumped it back up, and continued to follow through. They did not really trigger the high, so I'm going to count this as breakout day 4. Going lower. And after 4 days of breakouts, we've been breaking down, making lower lows. And on a 15-minute chart, we've came back up and successfully made a higher high. Does that mean it's going to go up? No. Does that mean there's a potential? Yeah. So it gives me kind of what to look for, and I can go down to a lower time frame here and observe. We made a higher high. We pulled back. Gives me something to look for. I don't know if I think I'd rather watch the indexes, if I'm being honest. Russell selling off. I think I saw someone say that. Yeah, RD. We're down at previous day's low. I think I have other indexes though that I can watch just to keep myself from watching too many things. Oil. Not bad. 3 days of breakouts, 3 days of longs triggered into the market. We started our pump from back here on Friday of last week. Breakout day 1 on Monday, breakout day 2 on Tuesday, breakout day 3 yesterday on Wednesday. Will the breakout succeed or will it fail? Project that level across. And as of today, it looks like we have been breaking down, making lower lows and lower highs. And we are at the low of the day, which is unfortunate. It's always nice to see these. Whenever you have these 3 days of breakouts, it's nice to see your box of volume up high. And maybe the session has, prior to your session, they've broken down. And then so it's coming off of the high of the day, but it's pumping back up into your session. And then it follows through in your session on that first pullback, whereas right now it kind of looks like maybe we're a little bit far away from that first pullback. We've been going down now for quite some time, which is fine. Preference, also probability. You know, I've seen it work out both ways. I just like it when it's pumped up and I'm still in that first pullback because I've found that it just works a lot better. Or my probability of success is a lot higher. Okay, I'm going to put the NASDAQ up here, top left. We've got 1 minute to the open. Gold's okay. You know, I'm really not ecstatic about it. Oil's up here, good. US 30's up here, good. NASDAQ's up here. Good. Very good. Anybody have questions, comments, concerns? It's very quiet this morning. All right. Euro USD. Let's see. I don't really care about oil that much. Let's go over here. Okay, there's the New York Open. Five-minute chart. That's a pretty big breakout down. Okay, market's only going to do three things: trend, reverse, or stay in a trading range. Breakout day 1, breakout day 2, breakout day 3. It's tough to say. I could look for a trend trade. It's breakout day 3, so I could look for a higher high. I don't see a higher high. So it'd be a little bit tough to say. Okay, the NASDAQ breaking down more. Breaking down more. That's a shame. We might have already, I may have just missed this. Yeah, so this is the setup right here. They just filled the gap. They filled the space. Right off the open, they've already came down and hit the level. First 5 minutes of the New York Open, it's going to be a very wide range. Very wide range. And I think what I'm going to do is, this is very tempting to just enter into. I think I'm going to let the bar close and then use a 1 minute chart in order to try and enter, if that works out. So basically I would have to be saying the breakout is failing. We're at the high of the current week. We're making lower lows and lower highs. If the breakout fails, where would we be going? Previous day's low. Breakout at the high of the week fails. We go back to previous day's low. But that doesn't have to happen. We've already triggered, so we've came back down now. We've stopped out breakout traders. It does not have to keep going. Okay, we got 2 minutes until this 5 minute bar closes. I'm running and grabbing a drink. 30 seconds, coming right back. Dog food all over the place. Okay, new 5 minute bar. New 5 minute bar. Okay, this is where patience is really going to pay off. And I have a feeling this is pretty volatile. Yeah, so this is a 25 pip bar. And we are into the second 5 minutes. So a little trick that you can do, if you're waiting for the first 10 minutes or so of the session, notice we have this really big down closed bar here. And I think it's about 20 to 30% of the cases, you'll get these big explosive moves in the first 10 minutes. if the second bar is as large as the first bar, you know, a lot of times you'll have continuation, and it'll be a strong continuation, strong breakout, or reversal in this case. So it's something I kind of just look for. And again, it's not a strategy or a system or anything like that. It's just something to look for. Again, something I think about. How does the market open? I don't know why I have the euro up here. I do know why I have it up here. I didn't change it back. Okay, oils came down, lower lows. Cool. Very cool. Okay, I still have not entered anything. My problem with the NASDAQ is the bars are so big. I don't want to get caught in a squeeze, even if it is just a pullback, because it's so volatile. If I enter in with any bit of size, or if I add into the position and then they decide to pull back soon after, you know, I just don't want to be a part of that. I don't think I would really call it first red day on gold. Breakout day, I think it was 4 or 5. It's not really a first red day, in my opinion. But what I do think is that it closed in breakout, so we're just arguing names. You know, it's in breakout. I'm looking for a trend trade if it presents. But then it made this higher high. But that's just on the day, right? Between these 2 days, they made this higher high. So we could be seeing a period of consolidation. The Dow looks just crazy on the 1 minute chart. What the heck is this? Yeah. Okay. Sure. You know, it's just, what is that? We got a lower low, spiked up, made a higher high. We're at the low of the day. They've just traded it back down into the low. Is the low of the day going to fail now? This is just a higher high on a 1 minute chart, but chart's a chart. I found my edge. I recognize consistently. Yeah, if you... So whenever you... That's why I don't watch anything trading anymore. You know, I do my YouTube channel, but that's really for you all, right? And it does, honestly, it does help me too. Doing YouTube and, you know, just saying this stuff to you all over and over again and performing in live time over and over again for you all in front of you is helpful to me as well. But as far as consuming trading content, it would be like, you know, I've been driving since I was 15, but, you know, I guess it's okay to get a refresher here and there for some kind of I don't know. What am I trying to say right now? It's not about knowing more in a lot of cases. It's just a lot of trying to get better. Practice. Less is more, yep. All right, 1 second. All right, no more distractions. Here we go. Kind of looks like it's a good thing I walked away for a second. All right. So yeah, less is more. And hey, this is exactly what I was just saying. Is the breakout going to succeed or is it going to fail? We made this higher high on a 1 minute chart. I get it, it's just a 1 minute chart. Really not getting any pullback to allow me to get into anything. Can y'all hear me okay? Should be able to. Yeah, I can see the mic working. No, Mark, I haven't taken anything yet. I was kind of waiting for a pullback here on you on the NASDAQ, and it's not coming. It just keeps on dragging lower. Here, I recognize the slightly higher high. I was watching the low to see how it behaved once it got there. It broke out and then popped back up. Maybe not even allowing the shorts to get back out of their positions now. Evidence of trapping shorts. So I don't really want to go short on this just yet. Or maybe even at all. I am watching closely. Gold, I'm watching for possibly a trend trade back down to the low, but we did get this little higher high, which makes me feel a little bit nervous about it. We could be entering into a period of consolidation that I don't want to be a part of. I'm on a 1 minute chart right now. If you go to a 5, you can see it's, slowly dragging lower. But just really no pullback. I have no pullback. Maybe I should say pullback one more time. Yeah, maybe. Let's see, where's my little thing here? Joseph, good morning to you, my friend. Let me see here. So this is what I'm looking at. For those of you that maybe are a little bit newer in the stream. Okay, this is what I'm looking at on NASDAQ here. Oh no, I've lost it. Okay. This is what I'm kind of thinking here. Can we see the similarities? Big opening drive into the high, breaks out for 3 sessions and then breaks down. That's kind of the idea. It's just I've missed. I usually try to get in on this right side of the, and I'm trading it back down to the previous day's high or back down to closing price, and I'm trying to get in towards the high. Whereas this, I waited till after the open, and it just drove down and hit the level, so I might have missed it. Now it can keep going. I just want to make sure that I play it safe. I don't want to chase. I don't want to chase it or anything like that. That would, they could pull back at any point and come back up, go into my position 50 plus points. I'm not really willing to sit through that. So, okay, we might be getting a little squeeze action over here. Look at this. Little no overlap. This is what I'm talking about. Evidence of trapping shorts. They put in the higher low. Break out of a consolidation. 1, 2, 3. Pops back up. So we're not letting this guy out. We're not letting this guy out. Okay. And then we're dragging. Little to no overlap in the bars. Possibly setting up a squeeze to go higher. If I was going to execute this trade, which I am not, because I'm not going to use, I don't base trades based off of only 1 minute structure, but because they've made this higher high, I would be looking for this if I was going to, because the bars have little to no overlap. They should, whenever the shorts give up, we should be seeing this blow through here. That's what should happen. And then I would be comparing and contrasting what should happen to what is currently happening and make decisions based off of that. We're going to skip these ads for you all because I need you all to be able to hear what I'm saying. We're at a crucial point. We're coming into a new hour, 9 minutes. The first 15 minutes of the new hour is usually crucial, very important. And that'll also be a new 15-minute bar. We got this little curl action that I'd like to talk about from time to time, where they'll present this consolidation and then a breakout, and then when they break out, it immediately pulls back and it curls it right back down into the low. So it curls it and it'll slam it back down. And the big thing is when it slams it back down, sometimes it will just keep going. And that's what should happen. Based off of how strong the bars are, that's what should happen. And then I just look and see what actually happens. Oh, they immediately take it away from that person. And we start to go back up, which means that now we have evidence of shorts being trapped at the low of the day. So if I wanted to execute a short, I would then have to wait for those who I believe to now be caught. I would have to wait for them to be allowed to get out. Or I need to adjust my thesis. In this case, breakout day 1. I take that back. Breakout day 2. So we're in breakout going down. Yeah, we're at the low of the week. We've come off of Wednesday's peak low of the week. So maybe we're seeing a reversal. I'm going to wait for a first green day. Geometric twirly. Geometric twirly, Nipsey, are you referring to the little curl that I was just talking about? Yeah. It's ruthless. Okay, good. So you didn't size into it? Good. This could also be breakout of a low. And it's just an internal, it's not, just on the inside of the day's range, we had this low in place. And they broke out of that low. 1, 2, 3. If they close above this bar's low, close. If they close above this bar's close, I could then be of the assumption or the belief, the potential belief, that shorts are being trapped. Is this at the low of the day? Oh, yeah, it sure is. Now, if it shows signs of continuation and follow through, maybe it pops back up for a bit, consolidates, and then shows signs of follow through or continuation, I will take that trade. But right now, it's just came down in a 1, 2, 3 and engulfed. We won't even call it an engulfment, all right? I know. I get yelled at all the time because an engulfing candlestick pattern technically is just a down closed bar, and then the next bar opens and then goes up like this. Technically, that's what it's supposed to be. So you hear me saying engulf all the time. It's a breakout bar. This bar here closed higher than this bar's high. It's a breakout bar. Okay, and this is probably called a V-bottom reversal or a shooting star or whatever it's called. I don't really care. But words mean things, so I'll make sure to reiterate. Okay, I'm not going to touch gold. I think that gold, it kind of has potential. It looks nice. It's hard. Spin and breakout down. 2 peaks. On the day, they did make this lower low. Thing is, so they made this higher high. Look how they make the higher high too, which is interesting. 1, 2, 3. Pull back. And then they go back to the high as basically an attempt to continue higher. I think I kind of need a visual reference. Sometimes I just need a better visual reference. So I'm going to get a 20 up here real quick. Okay. US 30 is squeezing. We've blown through the high and closed higher. That's good. If I was going to trade that as a squeeze. One minute to a new hour. I have no orders in. I have not entered a trade. So part of me really wants to watch gold, and then there's another part of me that something just doesn't feel right. Like maybe they put in a peak high and a peak low, and they're just going to hold it. But I don't, I really don't know for sure. That's just feeling and discretion instead of fact. Playing the side of caution, I guess I'll call it. The 1 minute chart does look very good. Please mark RR if any. I think you mean you want me to mark off like where I get in? I haven't got in yet, so I can't do that. But if I do, I'll let you know. Check M5 for gold. Joanne, I'm on the 5. And I've seen it. Hey, Shih Tzu, if you keep saying it, it won't make it true. Spamming it in the chat is not going to turn it into a reality or whatever. Plus, I already said I would. But yeah, I'm on a 5. I'm on a 5 right now, Joanne. Silver's going to. Okay. Hey, Kieran, I really want to answer that question for you. Just give me a few moments, all right? Don't let me forget. If I don't answer it in like 10 minutes, make sure you ask me again. Gold with I still have not entered anything. I'm highly considering gold, but something about it just makes me feel very strange. I really think it's just that 15 minute higher high is throwing me off. More than 3 days of breakouts and that 15-minute higher high. Yeah. Nice. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. So another reason I didn't enter in on gold, it's just, I'm telling you, just little itty bitty things like this, you'll start to notice. And over time, you'll see them enough times where it's just like, here we go again. This is what they're doing. They put this pen up. They put this pen down. And a lot of times they'll do this on a 1 minute chart and then they'll work these pens. Pen up, pen down, work the high, work the low, choose a direction. This is basically like peak formation high, peak formation low on a very, very, very small scale. And I know that doesn't really have a ton of relevance, but in a move where I believe that it should or could continue, that's what's really putting me on the side of caution. I like this pattern. I mean, this looks really good. That pen is what did it for me, though. Really wasn't a fan. So I opted to hold on. Or hold out, I should say. All right, popping up to the 15-minute chart. Don't want to get, tunnel vision. I don't want to just stay down there on the lower time frames all the time. Pretty big blow off move. Next bar, so we've broken down. We've gone sideways for a bar. This is the biggest down close bar on the chart. Not to say that it can't continue, but sometimes you get these biggest down close bar on the chart and then it's a trap. So we got to be careful of that. V bottom reversals, things like that. US 30 last 15-minute bar was actually a breakout close up. So we got a down close bar and then an up close bar, which could be on an extended W. Maybe. Okay, oil, 1 bar range. Down close bar, breaking out, making a lower low. 1, 2, 3. So we've got 15, 30, 45 minutes down at the low on oil without going any lower. Okay, we had a breakout and a retest of the breakout, followed by first pullback. 45 minutes at the low of the day, which I think is also the low of the week. Or am I wrong? Probably wrong. Let's see. No, definitely not the low of the week. 3 days of breakouts in a direction. 45 minutes at the low of the day. Why am I on a 30-minute? Yeah, that's why I cannot trade a V-bottom reversal quant blue. Because I feel like they're so unexpected. You know, most of the time there is a retest, so for it to V-bottom and just go, it's always shocking to me. And that's usually I just have to let it go kind of moment. Okay, we're in the first 15 minutes of the hour. And we've been at the low for 45 minutes. And we've just had an up close bar that broke out. Highest close in the move, high of the bar. They closed it just about right at the high. Pretty nice little drive off the low. Oh, right. Okay, we had a 1 minute bar breakout on oil. And it's a very good squeeze pattern. Admittedly. It's very good. Very good squeeze. I'd put a limited order in to see if it would pin down into my order. Just because the bar was a little bit bigger. This bar formed, and I put a limit order down here to see if they would pin down into me before squeezing. And then it squeezed on the next bar higher instead of doing that. So I just removed the order. That's a very clean squeeze. Okay, NQ, I'm looking for a close below this bar's low. On a 5 minute. That would also allow people in this 1, 2, 3 to make money. Oil was the trade of the day by far. 45 minutes at the low of the day. Breaks out, pulls back. In an up-moving market as well. It's just, there was 3 days of longs in the market, so I was going to take this as a 3-session setup. Or a session scalp. Smaller size, low of day. Just missed my my limit order. It missed my limit order. All right, we got this. What have I projected across over here? Is it the breakout level? Yeah, so I got the breakout level projected across. Look at this. Huge bars into the low. Every time it happens, they immediately take it away. This bar's close, if you look, if that bar's close, does not allow any of these people down here. If I sold any of these bars down here, I'm not being allowed to make money. So these bars are not convincing to me because you can see who is making money right now. Longs are making money. Shorts are getting trapped. I need to stay out. I need to wait. I got to tell you all about my little failure since we're sitting here watching paint dry. I think I told you. Oh, no, I didn't tell you because we didn't trade together yesterday. So it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I tried to go for a squat personal best. Because my previous squat, I think it was my personal best ever in 2018 was 295. So right at 300. Or no, I'm sorry, 395. So right at 400. So I thought, you know, very recently, I squat 385, and I said, well, I could do 400. And I failed. So I need to give it a little bit more time. But I'm right there at that 400 mark. I think I can get it. Excited about it. Hello, hello. Oh, there we go. I appreciate the microphones. I do 90 Mustang. I shoot. I've never competed before. I've never competed in powerlifting, and I probably won't. There was a time when I thought maybe I should just for fun, and I still might. I just don't think in my weight class I'll be strong enough. So, because I'm almost 200 pounds now. I'm at 190 again, 191. And people, I mean, there's people out there that are 150 pounds that are just insanely strong. So their Wilks score is going to be much higher than mine. So yeah, I just been lifting for myself. But I was saying my bench max previously was 285. My personal best was 300. So I think that I can get to 300 again. I'm like right there. So we'll see. Okay, gold is interesting to me. We're just over that 15-minute mark. They made this slightly higher high, though. You made 300K? I don't know where that... No. We're talking about bench max. So I was watching gold, and it had put in that humongous bar, and it was all the way down there. So it kind of did this little up move and then this little down move. So I'm still interested in it, but no, I'm not really convinced. I am not convinced. I think they're jerking my chain. I think they're pulling me around. Yep. Okay, so what I've done here was when this bar was still all the way down here, I had planned, because the bar was too big. You know, I can't get into a bar that was that big. So I had put in a limit order. And then when the bar was about to close, I was going to put it about halfway up the bar so that it could pin up and pull me into the market, which I do frequently. When it pinned up like this, I took my limit and I tossed it all the way up here to see what the next bar did. And I am no longer confident of what I was looking at. I think that the setup that I was going for was about to go for. I'm not going to say it's null and void. It's just not presenting the way that I would want to see. So I removed the limit order, and I've still have not entered anything. AJ, I appreciate that. Every day is arm day. Quant, you take it easy. I hope you have a good dinner. Every day is arm day. I actually don't do an arm day at all. I just rely on compound exercises, things that are working basically your whole body, you know, bench press, squat, deadlift. I do a few accessory exercises, but I really don't do anything over 8 reps, even accessory exercises. Okay, so we got this big down close bar. They've created a high and a low. They put an inside bar. Then they have an up close bar. And then immediately following a down close bar. So like they're a little shifty right now. Push pull legs. Yeah, Tom, I squat. I don't do a leg day. I just squat, I think 3 or 4 days a week. And then I have a couple days where I do a few more leg exercises, but it's not a leg day necessarily. But squatting that many days a week, my body has responded extremely well to that. The only reason I'm rambling about things that are not trading right now, by the way, is because I was convinced that this might turn into something. They immediately squashed that with this bar here. I kind of thought that maybe the NASDAQ, we might see a return to the low as like a second leg down. And I was going to maybe look for low-hanging fruit, but they're still not allowing shorts to make money. And we're just kind of inching down, 1, 2, 3 down. Kind of like a low volume pullback. So I'm really not convinced with any of these. Captain, I look at the volatility and I see how big are the bars. If the bars are too big, then I have to enter in smaller, so I don't do what you're saying. I know about how much I'll lose if I enter in with a mini. I'll know how much I lose if I enter in with micros. I don't use an exact science. I just know that on a really good high quality setup, I'm going to use more minis than I normally do. And if it's a little bit wider of a stop and I have to get in because the bars are really big and I think the probability of continuation is high, but maybe it's not going to go as far, but it's still going to go far enough that I'm willing to take the trade. You know, I'll enter in with a bunch of micros or whatever. Or I'll enter in with micros and then add in. It really depends on the situation. But frankly, if I look at the trade and I think maybe I should just be using micros, a lot of times I just won't take it because I'd rather get in with minis and watch it go, 25, 50 points or ticks and be able to just get out and be done. What's your thoughts on the Russell? Ooh. Look at that head and shoulders. 3 push pattern to the high, right shoulder and a breakdown, maybe. As far as actual trading setups go, that's kind of rough. Actually, let's see, we got a lower low. Higher high to a lower low to a retest of the high that maybe is going to fail. I don't know. It's hard to say. But that's how I'd have to trade it. I'd have to say, well, this is a lower low. But then they kind of come back to a higher high. Probably going to avoid that. I feel like these are all setting up for something. I just don't know if it's going to happen, if it's going to happen today. Or maybe it kind of looks like maybe it's setting up well for the afternoon, which I will not be a part of. Yeah. NFP. NFP is this week, isn't it? I think it is tomorrow. Wow. Usually non-farm weeks are like my slow weeks. Kind of not really that great. Had a pretty good week. Usually my mentality on an NFP week is usually just survive. Just get to the end, get through the week. You know, next week will be better. I've had a pretty good, like, Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday wasn't bad. Pretty good. Yeah. Gold over time on a 5-minute chart. I mean, it looks good. Yeah. Yep. And then we're about to have the beginning of a new month. The beginning of a new template. So we'll see. I'm not taking any of this. I don't care. So here's the thing. The reason I've started out and I say, hey, the chart looks really good. It did. It looked fantastic. In fact, I was quite excited about it. When it looked like this. Okay. The moment it did this, where it went from here to here. In fact, it actually went from here to here. What it did was it completed the trade. It hit my take profit with me not in the trade off the open. It exploded and just came straight down here, and the trade was over. I was waiting around to see if maybe we're going to see some continuation, and the way that this is following through, it might follow through. I don't know. 10:30. I'll probably give it a few more minutes. Gold, down moving market. We do kind of have this little bit here. You know, maybe. Just the way that it's moving over here can be very frustrating to execute on. And also, it's kind of getting a little flat down here. I don't know. Maybe it's going to explode. Oil lower low to a higher high. So now we have, you know, kind of a squeeze here. This was a good opportunity to get in on a session scalp. Missed my limit order. Russell, I really didn't know. US 30. Bit of a whip, honestly. I think that I'm going to do more damage than good if I try to guess which one of these will be the trade. I think I'm going to close here, and I'm going to come back tomorrow when it's perfect, or if it's perfect. And you all have seen me. I think I've been doing these live streams every single day now for over a month, if I'm not mistaken, or about a month. And you've seen me on a day where it's really good, 9:30, or just after, or before 10 o'clock, like trade in, out, done. And that's how it really should be. That's really how it should be. So when you see me sitting here until 10:30, waiting around, there are sometimes going to be a late session trade, and that's why I wait around. But for the most part, when it's good, it's good. Right at 9:30, things happen, and I can get in and get out and be done. I don't play their game. I don't want to play their game. I've played their game before, and I lose. Playing the market's game is a losing strategy. Sitting here waiting, wondering, when is it going to take place? We missed it. I kind of disagree, Paulie, because I mean, we did, and that's how I think it's intended to make us feel, or intended to make me feel, or you, or anybody. Is it accelerated right here, and look what's happened. Let's do this. There will always be, and those opportunities will be a lot more clean. Look what's happened. I only trade after 9:30, so I had to wait. 9:25, 9:30 opens right here. They open the bar, they push it straight down, hit my take profit, and then from that, they've sat in this range, in this consolidation for 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, 40, 50, over an hour. They've just been sitting here. Oh gosh, I've tried to go long. Oh no, I've tried to go short. It's not going anywhere. Now we're curling a little bit. No, I'm gonna hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, great stream. I'm gonna call this a win for the day. Identifying a market that is maybe possibly, decent, but just lower probability, not really setting up the way that I want. And coming back for tomorrow, when hopefully things have set up a little bit better. And somebody did point out that tomorrow is NFP, so maybe the market's setting up for that. I don't know. Maybe we get a first red day today, and tomorrow's the best trade of the week. I'm going to wait and see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow, 9:15 a.m., ready to go, ready to trade. See you then.